Hey everybody, it's Nick Millspaw. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope your preparations for Christmas and the new year are just going awesome. I know my wife and I are really excited about turning a page and just hitting the ground running in 2015. We just know that this is going to be the best year yet, and I hope it's the same for you. Picking a school, that's very tough. I just finished up a couple of showcases with K-Drop Baseball, and it's just amazing that there's just across the board a lot of the same questions. And so I want to talk to you about one question that really isn't asked enough and really isn't investigated enough, in my opinion, when you're going through the list of, why should I pick a school? And that's actually a whole entire other topic that we'll talk about as well in regards to being proactive and not reactive into your pursuit. But picking a college, that's very difficult. Okay, so there's very a lot of aspects to consider just as from an academic standpoint. And so the first thing, what are the academics like? Does it have my major? What's the history of that school? How big are the classes? Is it 30 kids? Is it 200 kids? The campus life. Will I live on campus? Will I have a meal plan, or will I live off campus like I did, and have my own apartment, have my own groceries, have my own electric bill, gas bill, water bill, my own cable internet bill. I had all those things, and is that what it'll be like? How many people attend the school? Is it just a few thousand people or is it 30,000 people? These are all great questions. But as an athlete, you take those things and then you start to add in some other questions. Questions like, do I see myself thriving in this environment? Will the coaching staff and do I think that really after meeting the coaching staff, will we get along? Are the players people that I can relate to? So as I meet the players, are these all guys or girls that I can really see myself hanging out with outside of class, outside of practice? Do I think I'll get along with them? Is this a program of excellence that is this the best that I feel like I can do? These are all very important questions. However, one of the major questions that is not on the initial list most of the time is this school too far or is it far enough away from home? And and I want to talk about that just for a minute. So, if you're a player or a parent of a player going through this process, this is a major question that I really feel like you need to ask. Everything could be perfect about the school. All those questions that we just asked could have all the right answers. But if the only way for the athlete to come home is by flight, say like Denver to Indianapolis, this could pose a problem if it's not investigated or really not thought about, first and foremost. So I want to help you save a little bit of your time, save the coaches and school's time. Growing up, you spend years with your family. You do everything with your family, your siblings, your parents, everything with that group of people. And so, going off to school can be really a dramatic event for a new college student. And it's often that kids will say they're ready to be out on their own, and in reality they have no idea what that means. They're used to parents and family being their safety net, right? So they say that, but they've never really been allowed to really truly fall and fail on their own. So it is the sense it's in this sense of invincibility that I believe that we should allow the kid to just get a little bit of a wake up call. And so because if somebody ends up coming home that semester, it's really a lose lose for everybody. The lose lose for the parents, the player, the school, as well as the program, the athletic program. So here's my suggestion. Okay, so if your athlete wants to go somewhere south to play baseball because it is warm all year round, that's what I used to say. Simulate a weekend for them in reverse of them coming home for the weekend. So simulate them going on an unofficial visit. They go down. They have something set up on campus for lodging. They have an unofficial meeting with the coach at certain levels. They'll be able to practice with the team. They'll be able to get to know the team. simulate that, simulate them kind of being on their own for just a weekend and then having to come home on a Sunday night, and just realizing that, coming home from on a Sunday night would be them driving back to school, and knowing how often they would be able to do that, knowing how often they would really be able to um, search and or excuse me, to come home if they need something from mom or dad, or if they need some help on something, if they're okay with that. So that's a big test. So what's the feedback that you get after that? Was it everything they expected? Did it hit them with that? If they did need mom's help, they were 12 hours away, and were they okay with that? For me, an hour from home was perfect. I loved being able to have lunch with my dad once per week, and just kind of just update him on what was going on, and I loved being able to go home, every couple weekends if I wanted to. But I also loved being out on my own. I loved having that independence of my having my own bills, having my own rent to pay, just really having that independence feeling. Even though I was an hour away from home, I love that feeling. So these types of questions, that they're going to help you really narrow your search. Players and parents, they too often come to me with no game plan, and this needs to be a main question before really getting started. How far do I really feel comfortable being away from home? I asked a player that the other day. He told me that a college was yeah, that was perfect. That it was in Kansas, and it sounded like it was going to be perfect. And then I said, "Listen, how far do you really, really want to be away from home? Do you really feel comfortable? Is 8 hours okay? That's a whole day of driving." He said, "No, I really would like to be, like to be able to do my round trip in a day." And so that right there eliminated that college, and we saved a lot of people time. So if you've got somebody trying to make this decision, share this with them, comment, let's get the conversation, going. Because I've had a lot of experiences with this lately, and I want to talk to you and I want to help you. So thank you so much. Have a great day today. I'll talk to you soon.